Chamberlain when he's playing against, I don't know, a 6'5" white dude. Let's be honest about it. When you're playing against a 6'5" white dude and Will Chamberlain's 7'2" and strong as an ox and, a hurdler and a championship athlete in track and field, and he posts up on the block and they throw the ball into him, what are you going to do? 2 points. So if you look at this video of Wilt, man, it was like a man amongst boys. Like even the great, what's his name? And I'm drawing a blank right now. Boston Celtic. Yeah, I'm talking Bill Russell. Even the great Bill Russell. Like the video that I see, and you look at some of the stats from that year when Wilt played against Bill Russell that year in the Boston Celtics 61-62. He used to get 50 on Bill Russell like it was nothing all the time. And Russell was regarded as one of the greatest defenders in basketball history. You know that. He was. I'm not saying that he wasn't. He was. He couldn't stop Wilt. I mean, golly. Go back and look at them numbers, man. It's just very shocking. From D, he says, what the hell does ACC stand for now? I mean, they now have 4 schools that aren't even on the Atlantic coast: Notre Dame, Cuse, Pitt, and Louisville. That's true. So what? I mean, you should have a semblance of history, though. You should have a semblance of respect about the ACC and the conference and where it's been and where it's derived from. You might have Notre Dame and Syracuse and Pittsburgh, which is ridiculous to me that you got these Midwest teams in Pitt and Louisville. What is Louisville considered? Kentucky. Kentucky's considered Midwest. Like, those teams should have been in the Big Ten. That's neither here nor there. That's fine. You're going to see a lot more of this in sports in the next coming years. But make no mistakes about it. I don't care if Notre Dame or Louisville's in the ACC. The ACC is about Tobacco Road. It's about North Carolina. Okay? It's about Wake Forest and North Carolina and Duke and North Carolina State. Secondarily, Clemson and Virginia, teams like that. It is. So, I mean, clean your feet off when you walk in somebody else's house is all I'm saying. From Vince Wright, X Squad, thanks, Griff. We play a tough Middle Tennessee State squad. That's another squad that they're talking about that's going to make some noise in the tournament. They beat Michigan State in the tournament as well. From Ducking and Dodging, here we go. From Rough Buff, Doug, stop ishing on the Big East. Football ruined the Big East. Jim Boeheim just mad. East Coast, mainly New York, used to be the mecca of basketball. The Big East coaches used to have major pull. Go with the 30 for 30 about the Big East. Man, I seen the 30 for 30 for the Big East. Listen, I'm a Georgetown fan, okay? I like the Big East. The Big East was the bee's knees back in the day, all right? But I'm first a guy from the South, and I don't like the New Yorkers coming down here talking shit to us. I'm a Big East fan, and you're listening to the Doug Shore Show. I used to be a Big East big-time fan. I was a Georgetown Hoya fan. Hoya paranoia. John Thompson. Michael Jackson. Hee-hee. Sleepy Floyd. David Wingate. That was my squad, okay? Patrick Ewing. That was my squad, all right? But me being from the South supersedes my fandom of the Big East. And it was very disrespectful, very condescending of Jim Boeheim last week, talking shit about they shouldn't play the damn ACC tournament in the South, in Greensboro in particular. Period. Yes, the Big East was great back in the day. It's lost a lot of luster. That ain't my damn fault, Rough Buff. Stop it. I guess you a Syracuse fan too. Stop it. Me being from the South supersedes my love for the Big East. And I don't care what you say. Y'all trying to support, y'all trying to defend Jim Boeheim. Y'all know that was some bullshit. Whatever. Always come down here and talk about you should do it this way. You should do it the New York City way. From Grego, New Yorkers think the president should live in New York instead of D.C. Hold up. They got their wish. Exactly. From D, he says, Georgetown, Maryland, now these schools should be in the ACC. Yeah, I mean, that's a more geographical, better look than freaking Louisville and them cats. Louisville should be in the SEC, if anything. Maybe secondarily the Big Ten. I don't like that. From D, Georgetown, Maryland. Now these schools should be in the ACC. Okay. Al, Blue Devils, North Carolina Thompson. Did Doug like any South Carolina teams growing up? I root for all South Carolina teams. I ain't got to explain myself to you, sir. Rough Buff. WTF is in Greensboro. North Carolina A&T is in Greensboro. Aggie Fest. Aggie Fest. That's right. I don't even think they have Aggie Fest anymore, but North Carolina A&T State University is in Greensboro, North Carolina, if you want to ask. I told you. Let's see. From Rough Buff, I grew up a Cuse fan. Yeah, Syracuse was cool back in the day. Derek Coleman, it has Pearl Washington. They were okay. Well, I mean, it's just different now. From Air Blue Devils, North Carolina, Georgetown, Lakers, Raiders, ain't from Carolina, Doug. I'm not even going to dignify you with a response and explain myself to you. .334 Bam Boy, get Missouri and Texas A&M out the SEC. Right. Well, I mean, those used to be Big 12 teams. And once again, you're going to see a lot more of this type of thing where teams geographically don't fit with the conference that they're in because it's all about money now. And that's a perfect example in talking about Texas A&M. They used to be in the Big 12 for many, many years. It seems like they should be in the Big 12. And Missouri used to be in the Big 10 forever. Like Missouri in the Big 10, even though Missouri came into the SEC winning games in football, they've been giving the Georgia Bulldogs fits for years. But you're right. I like the whole geographic side of things, man, when you talk about these teams. University of Miami. When Miami was an independent. They were an independent first. But I always thought it was strange when Miami played in the Big East in football. And then now they've been in the ACC for many, many years, probably about 15 years now. But I that was kind of like the first time I remember a team geographically that didn't fit with their conference. Like, why the hell is Miami in the Big East playing Big East football or whatever? From Tiffany Chokeslamming Heels. Good morning, Tiffany Chokeslamming Heels. Yeah, she says Louisville and Kentucky are 1.5 hours apart. How should Kentucky be in the Midwest and Louisville be in the SEC? That's a good point. That's a very good point. Kentucky and Louisville are in the SEC. Or Louisville's in the Big East. Right, that's right. Or Louisville's now in the ACC. But Louisville used to be, basketball-wise, what did Louisville used to be in basketball-wise? They used to be in the SEC or the Big Ten. I can't even remember where Louisville was in right now before they got into the ACC. I don't know, but Kentucky is in the SEC right now as well, or has always been in the SEC. From Vince Wright, X-Squad, is Tiffany going to call in today? Man, Tiffany got a invitation to call into the show anytime she wants. Anytime she wants. Yeah. Vince Wright says, laugh out loud to let Doug know who really runs this. I don't know what that means, Vince, but Tiffany can call the show anytime she likes. Yeah. From, who do we got here in the chat room on Spreaker.com? From Chucktown Frank, Louisville was in the Metro. That's right, they were in the Metro Conference. And that Metro Conference used to be Louisville. Virginia Tech used to be in that Metro Conference as well. So, yeah, kind of like the Metro Conference kind of felt like Conference USA in football a little bit. Like they were Division I teams, but they were kind of like second-tier type Division I teams. That's right, the old Metro Conference. You went back on that one. I forgot all about that. Thank you, Chucktown Frank, for doing something around here. Damn. Right, so they were in the Metro, then they were in the Big East, and then now they're in the ACC. That's exactly right. That's the evolution of the Louisville Cardinals. So back when Purvis Ellison was there, I believe they were in the Metro Conference. I don't think they were in the Big East Conference when Louisville won the national championship when Purvis Ellison was there. Never Nervous Purvis was there. I think they were still in the Metro Conference at that time as well. Good stuff. I would have never remembered the damn Metro Conference. From Sandman, Memphis and Louisville should be in the SEC and Cincinnati in the Big Ten. Agreed. Right, the Cincinnati teams, the Ohio teams, okay, the Ohio teams, Ohio State is in the Big Ten. And, yeah, it feels like Cincinnati should be in the Big Ten. And Louisville and Memphis should be geographically based on where they are in the SEC. But once again, that doesn't happen anymore, man. From Miss Mocabella, Doug being extra nice to Thompson or Thorny's son and Tiffany. No, I'm always nice to Thorny's son and Tiffany. They have an open invitation to call the show anytime they like. Yeah. From Bench Wright, he says, I hated Louisville back then when Purvis Ellison. Yeah, they had a squad then, won it all. Ooh, what year was that? That had to be early 80s. I'm not going to even try to guess the year that was. From Tiffany Chokeslam and Heels, Louisville was in Conference USA with Cincinnati. Jake from State Farm, Ohio State won't allow Cincinnati to join the Big Ten. Money thing. Politics. Okay? So basically what he's saying is Ohio State, and I think I've heard this before as well, Ohio State doesn't want Cincinnati to get into their same conference because it takes away some of their, their rooting interests. Some type of way it would mean money, taking money out of the pockets of Ohio State if some of their fans, regionally go and support Cincinnati football as opposed to Ohio State football. Yeah, I get that. At the end of the day, it's all about business. It's all about money. I get that. From T-Dub, and East Carolina should be in the ACC like they used to be back in the 60s. Wow. Okay, you said 60s. I don't ever remember East Carolina being in the ACC, but East Carolina would be a perfect fit. But what about their enrollment? Like, is East Carolina a program that could compete to that level against ACC teams? East Carolina's been solid as hell for many, many years. They have been. I like that. I like the thought of putting East Carolina in the ACC. That would be good. They got to step up. They got to give a little bit more funding to the athletic programs to compete, probably. But whenever East Carolina plays one of the Power 5 conferences, they don't get this. I mean, they don't just get embarrassed. They always play well, but usually they don't win against the bigger, once again, Power 5 conferences. But I like that. I like that thought. All right, when we get back from the break, man, it'll be we'll get to a little bit of entertainment talk. Birthdays, entertainment. We got to talk about this Tony Romo thing. We'll definitely get into this Floyd Mayweather thing as well. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Join the Doug Stewart Show Bracket Challenge by going to the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group. All right, and putting together your bracket. Back in 3 minutes.
No high rock, I'm hip hop.
AKA your girl DY.
Fake rappers stand down and stay right there. This is street music, so it stays right here. No high rock, I'm hip hop.
AKA your girl DY.
Fake rappers stand down and stay right there. This is street music.
I touch it and it's blessed.
In walks the girl with her hair all woolly. Flow on, swole, the unexpected bully. I am not what you thought. Body suckers for sport and slaughter the ones I caught. Recorded and then report, yeah. I'm a star, but I rock my day-to-day, yeah. Just so you don't fear me when you see me trying to play fair. My abilities are my greatest advantage. On my worst days, delivery is very hard to manage at your best.